the rundown again, right? It's kind of like an, orientation class, just in case you got a new idea. Let's bring you right back to the, original one. I like that look. That's a good look. That's why a lot of these, I don't even want to talk about them, though, man. It's just funny. I just think every time you think about it, you just laugh. That's all I can really do is just laugh. What's going on, cuz? Every time you think about it, you just laugh, right? Like, you don't want to bid on them, but it's just like, if you break it right there to your tip, it'd be like, yo, nah, man. Let them heal, I just want, everybody to stop being phony, though. But, that's in a perfect world. And that world doesn't really exist. Because everybody's looking for something. Dreamers and schemers. Which one are you, a dreamer or a schemer? Sometimes you could be a schemer thinking you're a dreamer, but you're really a schemer. Hidden agendas and shit. That's what I can basically, read into. I can actually hear hidden agendas, hidden motives, secret plots, little stupid shit you try to do, try to knock me off my spot, right? I know y'all want, I know y'all want y'all lick back, man. I know y'all do. I understand. I understand your frustration. I get it. But if we're just talking, I'm like that tall man. Okay. Just think about it. Just think about it before you do it. I know it's in you is itching, man. You've been quiet, seething with anger, But if someone controls how you feel from a computer screen, doesn't that just reveal how mentally weak and ill you are? How can someone you've never met have so much effect on you, have so much rental property in your head? I'm talking about penthouse suites, with the chandeliers and the marble and the gold. No gold trim, I'm talking about gold. Got real estate in your head. Prime pieces. Feeling like Donald Trump. Talking about Monopoly. Nigga, we've been having pass go, get out of bids, right? We've been playing pretty much get out of bids, man. Like buying houses, condos, hotels, casinos, cigar shops, car lots, car washes, all types of shit going on in your head. We built our shit up. Playing like Sims in your brain, like Sims characters. We're creating characters in your head. I can't even say it's like we even got real estate. I think it might even be worse than that, man. I think we got like a microchip. It's like playing Xbox Live. Joysticks. I ain't even get like, I ain't get like how I used to get, right? Got a better version of ice, I used to just mash niggas out. I used to just mash y'all out. First go. I just mash y'all out. Nah, just like, man, I ain't gonna do that, man. You know what I'm saying? I want you to continue to make content, you know, try to make sense of your life. You know, it's more important that you make sense of your life. That's what I really want you to do, is make sense of your life. Make sense of yourself. Have some motherfucking sense. You know, no sense get dollars, right? So if you start making sense, the more sense you can make of yourself and your life, the more dollars you actually get. You don't chase money or women. You know, money and women are attracted to masculinity. Thought I told you that, goofy. Money and women are attracted to masculinity. So you got to figure out what that first jewel is, and then maybe you'll, you know, all these things will come into place. You know, but you're seeking after the wrong things. You know, going about the wrong way. Walking around scratching your head, and you're offended by other people. You know, how was that supposed to work? You know, being dishonest. You know, that's what you're judged on. Scales of honesty and dishonesty. You know, people try to use people for different things. Well, actually, you know what? They misuse people for different things. Can't say they use things, because certain things you use is actually in proper form, like a chair. You use it, you know, to sit down in. You know, this microphone I used to talk to you with. You know, if I took it and just bopped you in the head and not misused it. You get what I'm saying? Now, all these things, you know, when they fall into place, shit kind of just get iffy.